All right, I'm not sure how many of you are interested in this, but maybe a couple. I bought this 2010 Toyota Tundra with 180,000 miles from my sister, and I decided to give it a really good clean, and I thought I'd show you what that looks like. So I took off all 4 door panels. I took out the seats, except for the one I've been driving in, the carpet, the headliner, and all the trim pieces. And this might look intimidating, which is part of the reason I wanted to make this video. You don't really need that many skills or tools to do this kind of work. You need a little patience, but all of the interior pieces can only go in one spot, so it's really hard to mix something up, unlike when you're working on an engine where you might put a long bolt in a spot where a short bolt goes. So I just want to show you the tools that I use. Now, I'm a retired ASE master mechanic. I have a lot of tools. I have a woodworking shop now, but none of this really matters. In fact, all I really used was these 4 tools. 3/8 inch ratchet with 10, 12, and 14 millimeter sockets. Standard trim tool. This is kind of a specialized trim tool, which I'd recommend buying if you do any kind of automotive work. It's made out of metal. It's very thin. It's used by the aviation industry. And then just one of these little tools. I have a variety of types, but all you really need is one. You can buy this tool at Amazon for 18 bucks. Type in sheet metal skin wedge pry bar or something like that, and you'll find it. It's fantastic. Saves you a lot of time. Anyhow, back to the truck. So basically with a 10 millimeter, 12 and 14, and those pry tools, you can get all this stuff apart. I didn't use any service information, albeit I have done this kind of work before. And you can get access to all sorts of things. So you can pull your seatbelts all the way out and pinch them and power wash them. You get access to the curtain airbags. If you've never seen one of those before, basically that's a little bomb that goes off that inflates the bag in case of a rollover. Let's see, anything interesting in the door panel? You have the speaker, of course. Window regulator, lock. Can't really see that very much. It's not so interesting. Also, while I was apart, I found a wiring problem with this sensor, which is why the airbag light was on. Just kind of a nice bonus. You'd be amazed how much debris and sand is in here. You can easily remove those with those tools I showed you. You can vacuum it, use a scrub brush and break loose all the stuff. And you can get a car extremely clean. I did this about 7 years ago with a Toyota Tacoma that had 200,000 miles on it. And you get inside of it and you'd think it were brand new. This car was filthy. And to give you just an idea of that filth, there's a few places I haven't cleaned yet, like there. And there. This area here was packed with stuff that the person had dropped, packed with sand like you wouldn't believe, and all those things smell. You're not really going to get rid of those smells. And honestly, you know, I'm replacing the radio. To replace the radio, you had to get the HVAC out of the way. To get the HVAC out of the way, you had to get this trim here out of the way, which went all the way over here. And to get that off, you had to get that off, and to get that off, you had to get this off. So it's like, it's really not that many fasteners. They're hard to get mixed up and confused because they're almost all the same. All the seat bolts are the same. So you basically just pull all the seat bolts out, disconnect the electrical connectors, and you're on your way. You don't even have to keep track of them all. And then I power wash it with a yellow tip, no soap, and then basically put them out to dry in the sun. And they come out looking like new. No soap, no scrubbing, just pressure. To the floor mats, to the visors. My neighbor loaned me his grass because I have a tree that shades it. So I did the headliner. Again, just water, no soap, no scrubbing, no nothing. I did this some years ago, worked perfectly fine. Door panels, same thing. Seats, carpets, you'd be amazed how filthy they are. It's a fantastic solution. You basically don't need any soap at all. You don't need any scrub brushes. All you really need is a pressure washer, some skills, patience, a flashlight, and a couple of tools. It's the HVAC vents that were full of stuff that he dropped down the vent and some foam. I'll just show you just all the little covers and things like that. You know, here's the window switch. Well, go figure. Here's the window switch. You know, they get filthy underneath. It's impossible to clean. And for textured surfaces like this, all you really want to do is get some baking soda. Baking soda is just super fine, and it'll get in between all the texture, and then as you rub it, it cleans it up. Here's the bezel for the instrument cluster. Again, you just look at the back, it's filthy, and it all smells, and you'd never ever clean that up any other way besides removing it. And this car is only 11 years old. I bought a truck that was almost 20 years old, and of course it was worse. But anyway, what I really wanted to encourage people to do is to consider trying it. You really don't need that many tools. They certainly don't have to be snap-on. Yeah, consider, start with a door panel. If the door panel goes well, builds you some confidence, try taking out the center console or something like that. And just take your time. Most of the time, the manufacturers, they'll leave you little pockets to put your screwdriver. Yeah, so like here you can see where you can put something in pry. And they do that most of the time, same with these. They give you little places to pry, and if you're gentle, you're not a bull about it, most of the time you can get stuff to pop off pretty easily. And every once in a while you'll break a clip. It's really not a big deal. On Amazon, you can buy a kit like this. I think this was $17. Has all kinds of different Christmas tree clips, push clips, things like that. And you can replace the ones that are broken. You can also use a little bit of hot glue if you bust one. It's really no big deal. So even if you're not a master mechanic and you want a really clean car, try it out. You might be pleased with what you find. Take care.